Communication is not only important in organizational life but in every walk of life. In fact, it is the only means for interaction among people. Without communication, no people can work either within the organization or outside the organization. This is the reason that a manager's maximum time is devoted to communicating in some form or the other. The word communication has been derived from the Latin word communis, which means common. The process of exchanging information and creating understanding between two or more persons. According to Coons O'Donnell, communication is transfer of information from the sender to the receiver within the information being understood by the receiver. According to Keith Davis, communication is the process of passing information and understanding from one person to another. The three important features of communication are: first point is communication involves two parties, that is sender and receiver. Then second point is subject matter of communication. It is transmitted in the form of symbols, which may be words, gestures, graphs, figures, etc. And third point is there is an element of understanding in communication. That is, the receiver of the symbolic message understand it in the same way as the sender has intended. Next, we are going to learn about the various steps or various elements of communication process. Communication is a process. The various important elements of communication process are sender, message, encoding, channel, receiver, decoding, and feedback. Sender is the person who initiates communication process. In the organizational context, the sender may be a superior, subordinate, peer, or any other person. Receiver is the person to whom the message is sent. Certain factors can complicate communication between a sender and receiver. Different beliefs, values, and personalities and various barriers to communication prevent a sender's message. Next step is encoding. Encoding is the process of converting subject matter of communication into symbols. The symbols may be words, body gestures, graphs, etc. A significant factor in encoding is that it becomes effective when the sender uses the same language for thinking which is required for transmitting ideas. This has very important implication for those who use more than one language in communication. Next is channel. Channel is the path through which the sender transmits his message. For example, air is the channel for face-to-face communication. In an organization, different communication channels are used for conveying message. Then the receiver receives the same message in the form of symbols sent by the sender. For understanding the message, the receiver converts these symbols into meaning. This process is known as decoding, which is just the reverse of encoding. Various contextual factors can play a role in how well a sender and receiver of a message communicate. First one is body language. Body language refers to all the non-verbal ways people communicate, including facial expressions, physical gestures, and postures. In face-to-face conversation, these play an important role. They often communicate things that are left unsaid, such as a person's enthusiasm, attentiveness, or any other things. When you are speaking to someone, it's important to ensure your body language is appropriate. It's also important to read the other person's body language so you can respond to it. Next is timing. The timing of a message can influence how well or badly it's received. It's also best to time messages for when you know the receiver has time to attend to them properly. The next point is environment. Factors like formality or informality of a setting, noise in the surroundings, and room temperature can also affect the abilities of a sender and the receiver to communicate. Their physical proximity also plays a role. Next point is message. A message is defined as the object of communication or the thing that is being communicated. A message may be spoken, written, visual, and physical signals. Some qualities of a message include its wording, directness, and purpose. Each message has a specific purpose: to convey important factors or information, to persuade the receiver to accept or reject certain conditions or actions, to motivate the receiver to act in a specific way, to stimulate discussion about a particular issue, or to entertain the receiver. Messages can have many other purposes like instructing, warning, greeting, or requesting information. For a message to be effective, you should know exactly why you plan to send it. Then last step is feedback. Feedback includes any action through which the receiver indicates that he has received and understood the message of the sender. Feedback is any response to a communicated message. It takes the form of a message itself and may be verbal, visual, or written. Often, feedback is essential because it's what turns one-way communication into two-way communication. Feedback may be positive or negative. Positive feedback indicates the receiver has received and understood the message. Negative feedback indicates that the receiver either has not received the message or has not understood its content. Feedback is important during communication because it helps the sender to make any necessary adjustment so that the message is correctly received. Feedback is also important after you have delivered a message. It enables further clarification or discussion. The basic communication model consists of 5 components: the sender, receiver, medium, contextual factors, message, and feedback.